Hello, it's Heidi, and today we're talking about conversation etiquette. I have 5 tips for you that are going to ensure you'll be the best conversationalist around. Stay tuned. Well, hello, it's Heidi Dulabon, and today we're talking about conversation etiquette. Yes, you know how some people, it's so easy for them. They just converse with ease and grace, and they make it look so effortless. And other people's, it's a struggle. It's awkward. It's almost painful. So I have 5 top tips for you. And after this video, by the time you've watched this whole video, you'll sail through conversations because you want to. You're going to just love it. You're going to just be waiting for your next conversation. But first things first, would you please be so kind as to hit that subscribe button? Yes, I'd be so happy if you'd be so kind. Join our community. I'd love to welcome you. We're having fun here. Okay, so here we go. Top 5 tips for conversation etiquette. Number 1, read the room. Yes, be aware of your surroundings. Be mindful. What's happening? Where are you? Who is standing in front of you that you'd like to start a conversation with? You know, you have to read the room. Where are you? Are you at work? And something's pent up and you're just dying to tell your boss something, and it's in the middle of a super busy day and your boss is all over the place. You know, read the room. Not a great time. Not going to be the best conversation. You're not going to get all the full attention you deserve. You know, where else are you? Are you, I don't know, at a networking event for work? It's after work, it's the cocktail reception, and you don't know a soul. You've got to start introducing yourself. Okay, different scenario. Maybe it's something somber and sad. Maybe you're at a funeral. That's a whole nother tone. So be aware of your surroundings, when it's appropriate to approach, when it is not, what subjects are appropriate. Okay, read the room. Okay, number 2, break the ice. Yes, okay, so you want to have a conversation. Well, you know what? Let's just say you're at the networking event and you're there to meet people. You don't know anyone in the room. That's my idea of heaven, by the way. Oh, all the stories to learn. Okay, so you walk into this networking event and you're going to have to break the ice. You're going to have to go up and introduce yourself. And that's what you do. And there is etiquette too. If there is a group of 2 people, do not go up to the group of 2 people. That could be an intimate conversation. You have no idea. You have no privy to that. Go up to where it is a group or a single person standing alone. So let's just say there's a single person standing there at the networking event. You go up to them and you say, well, excuse me, hello. My name is Heidi Dulabon. Shake hands. How do you do? Well, what's a good icebreaker? Talk about something that's happening where you are in the surroundings, when you've read the room. Okay, I'm at a networking event. We just listened to a keynote speaker, and I could say, wow, I thought that keynote speaker was fantastic. What did you think? And then they need to respond. And when they respond, you'll get a feel like, hey, I thought it was just terrible. I don't know why I'm here. I'm just wondering how soon I can just get out of here. Well, then you know what? You just say, well, nice talking to you, and move on to someone else, because you're reading the room and you've broken the ice and they're just not taking your bait. So try someone else. And you could go up to someone else and say, well, hello, what a great conference. I'm with the Acme company, and I thought that keynote speaker was just great. What did you think? And they maybe are a little more conversive and they get into it, and then you start off on a nice conversation. So break the ice, talk about something that is happening in the surroundings where you are. Hey, isn't the food great? Wasn't the dinner fabulous tonight? Or whatever. Talk about something within the moment. Great subject. It is always safe. Something, if you have the opportunity to speak with the Queen of England, the subject you can bring up is the weather. Always safe, right? Okay, if everything just fails you, hey, what a beautiful day today. Yes, it was a beautiful day today. Okay, so break the ice. Okay, coming in at number 3, listen. Okay, you've broken the ice. Yes, lovely day today, isn't it? And listen now, they're going to respond. They're going to say something. So I'm going to put some links at the bottom to some videos I've done about listening. Listening is a art form. It is a highly skilled art form. Very few people are any good at it at all, but everybody thinks they're a great listener. But okay, so when you listen, you have cleared your mind, you've put your phone away, you are present, and you are engaged, and you are ready to listen. So you ask a question, and then they respond, and you sit there, you listen. You are not thinking about, I have got to get home and finish that project. It's due first thing in the morning. How am I going to get this done? How soon can I get out of this place? Oh my gosh. No, you're not thinking about other things. You're listening. You're also not composing your response. You're not thinking to yourself, wow, this person seems pretty smart. I better come up with something super witty to respond with. What the heck am I going to say? I'm going to say, oh, and then they're all busy thinking about what you're going to respond, and you didn't hear a word they said. So no, don't do any of that. Listen, be present, clear your mind. Don't think about anything else. Just hear what they have to say, because it's going to be good. And let them talk, and just really take it in and listen. Okay. Now, coming in at number 4 is, so you're listening, right? So, respond at the appropriate time. Do not interrupt. Yes, you're listening. They're speaking. They're saying something. You could learn something. Every person you meet has a story, and you can learn something from every single person's story. That's the beauty of it. That's why I worry about, how am I going to meet everybody? How am I going to hear all these stories? It's so interesting. Okay, so let them say what they have to say, and then you'll see. This is my thing. Let it be a pause. Let them finish their thought, and then pause. Silence. Awkward, but not for long, because that's when you get all the good stuff. Yes, and then they will finish their thought. And then you respond, and you respond appropriately. You will say something that is appropriate for the situation. Don't bring up controversial topics if it is in a place where that would be inappropriate. If you are in a political arena and you want to talk politics, then that's just fine. But just be aware, again, you've read the room, right? Be aware, respond with the appropriate words, the appropriate things to say, and you're not interrupting. Because maybe someone says, I'm guilty of this, I am personally working on this, but someone will tell you a story, and you're listening, you're present, you hear this, and they're explaining this experience they've just gone through, and you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, I had the same thing. And so you interrupt them and you say, oh, you know what, the same thing sort of happened to me, and this is what happened to me, and it's about me, and it's all about me, and you know what you've just done? Even though you think, because it's me, I think I'm relating. You're not relating. It comes across as you're one-upping them. Yes. Well, yeah, that was your experience, but guess what? I had something similar, and mine's more important, and mine was bigger and better than yours, and I have to interrupt you because I got to get it in. Yeah, so don't interrupt. Save that similar story for another time, maybe later in the conversation. Don't rain on their parade, okay? So respond appropriately and do not interrupt. Okay, oh, you've got this. I know you do. Okay, so my number 5 top tip for conversation etiquette is be curious. Be curious respectfully. That's how good conversations keep going, and that's when you keep learning and you keep growing from all this new knowledge, because you are genuinely curious. You are authentically interested in this person and what they have to say, but you are very respectful. You're not prying. You're not asking inappropriate things. Be aware of the culture you're in. In some cultures, it's just fine. You should ask about someone's family, and in other cultures, that would be inappropriate. Be aware, do your research about which culture you're in. But be curious with this great, genuine interest and respect. And it's so interesting. You can learn so much, because I want to share something with you from my childhood. Okay, so when I was growing up with my two little sisters, and I and my family, we would visit my mom and dad, some of their very, very good friends. And I'm going to tell you her name, Mrs. Weathers. And my mom would say to us, she'd whisper to us, we were teeny tiny little girls, and she would say to us, Mrs. Weathers is the classiest person you'll ever meet. And she was. She was, God rest her soul. And I remember being little, and we'd get new dresses to go visit Mrs. Weathers. And I said to Mrs. Weathers one day, do you know, my mom says you're the classiest person we will ever meet? And she laughed. She had one of those deep, raspy laughs. And she said, oh, do you know the meaning of real class, Heidi? And I said, no, Mrs. Weathers, what is it? And she said, true class is being able to carry on a conversation with anyone, regardless of their position or station in life. And you know what? I've never forgotten that, because you can always find some sort of common ground with someone if you're respectfully curious, or if you don't find something, you haven't had similar experiences or backgrounds or education or whatever, you can generally be interested in what they do, and you can learn something new from what they do. And so I'm sharing that story about Mrs. Weathers with you, because I'm sure you are just such a class act, and I strive to be. And I think of Mrs. Weathers often, especially when I talk about conversation etiquette. So there you go. Alrighty, everyone, please like the video, hit the subscribe button, drop me a comment. What do you think? How are your conversations going? Love to hear about it. Please, and as I always say, everyone, please be kind. Thank you.